and welcome to Hired, the show where I, Caitlin, an engineer looking to get a new job in space systems, try to use my self-defined theory to get a job at one of 3 companies where I'd love to work. I have 3 months worth of expenses saved up, but 12 weeks isn't much. Time is short and there's a lot of work to do, so here's how I try to get hired. Welcome to week 3. Let's get started by taking a quick peek at what I did last week. Last week was the 4th of July, and you can see that I didn't make any obvious progress toward earning a job. However, I spent the week improving my own skills by taking classes. I also researched events in the area in preparation for this week. Because of all the prep that I did the previous week, I had big plans for week 3, starting with how I was going to update my materials. The big goal of the week was to submit my resume and cover letter to Blue Origin and Planetary Resources. This was a big deal because I had to submit my resume to the company itself instead of a specific job position. Since I didn't match any of the open positions at either company, I worked to develop a position that I could fill. In fact, I pretty much invented a new position specifically for me. These skills that I have are shown in the pie graph: engineer, communicator, and process evaluator. I have degrees to show my skills in engineering and writing, and I talked about the process improvement proposals that I recommended at my last job. My cover letter was really important in this case, and I had to write separate ones for Blue and PRI because the companies are very different and have different needs. For example, Planetary Resources already has a pretty strong social media presence, and Blue does not, which affects how I could help each company as a communicator. Each cover letter was specifically designed for an individual company to show that I know the companies and where I can be of use. Submitting the applications was the big goal for updating materials, but I also managed to sneak in a few other tasks. Obviously, I uploaded last week's video, which appeared on all my friends' feeds. I've started posting the video on LinkedIn as well. So, moving on, I did a bit of networking this week. The most important tasks that I completed were emailing companies. I emailed the talent miner at Planetary Resources to let him know that I submitted my resume to the open position. I also emailed my contact at Aerojet Rocketdyne to give him the dates that I would be available for shadowing. No replies yet, but I've gotten it started. I was also hoping to network and meet people at the Arlington Air Show. Unfortunately, I didn't get much of an opportunity. There weren't many employers there. However, I did get to see an awesome air show. The following pictures show my favorite 2 acts. There was a female acrobatic pilot in the red plane, and the second picture is a sailplane, which is cool because it has no engine, and everything was done just as it was falling. It was fun to see the air show, but going to the show did cement my idea that I want to be involved in space systems. They're just so much more interesting to me. I'm really looking forward to going to the Hellfire event in August. I think they'll be more appropriate for what I'd like to do, and networking might be a bit more successful there. So, although my networking didn't go as well as planned at the air show, developing my skills has been fun and should prove useful. My goal from last week was to sign up for one volunteering opportunity. I chose to work at the fundraising summit in Seattle because I thought it would be a good opportunity to meet leaders in the nonprofit industry, and it would give me experience in event organization. It's going to be a long day. They want us from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., but I'm looking forward to a new challenge and getting out of the house. On the more engineering side, I developed my skills this past week by finishing the intro propulsion class lectures on rockets. All the others were components of jet engines. Although I have plenty more to learn about jet engines, I spent the last year working on them, and I would like to take a break for a little bit. So instead, I'm focusing on what I'm really interested in: supersonic propulsion and rocket planes. I've started doing some research on my own, inspired by the lectures at MIT. I've been studying different rocket planes and how they are propelled. It's been fun to delve into unusual propulsion systems like the aerospike. I never had time to really research this stuff when I was in school, so exploring it now has been awesome. I've also been exploring outside of engineering, doing experiments to see how my body reacts to marathon training, and reading books on topics that interest me. The 9-to-5 cure has actually been eye-opening. It shows how you can work outside of a cubicle, but I'm not entirely sold on the idea yet. So, at the conclusion of the week, you can see that I actually made some progress. I contacted each company in one way or another, although I'm still waiting on emails and replies, which I will probably be waiting on for some time. It's nice to see that I've completed some tasks. that should help me move closer to my goal of getting a job. Looking toward week 4, I hope to maintain the momentum of week 3. I'm planning to sign up for more volunteering opportunities and maybe even short-term jobs. I'm not going to start looking for long-term jobs till August. Basically, I'm exploring all the opportunities that I can, both in volunteering and paid work right now. The book I'm reading, The 9-to-5 Cure, inspired me to continue defining exactly what I'd like to do in a job, and I think the best way to figure that out is to try lots of different jobs. This is one of the reasons that I'll be looking at freelance opportunities. Hopefully, it's another busy week ahead and those bars can creep forward a little bit more. I'm down to 9 weeks before I need to have a job. Thanks for joining me for week 3 of Hired, and I will be uploading a new video next Monday. Thanks.